Good morning and welcome to the Piccalilli and Kick-Ass Fantasy Football Show. It's NFL Week 4 and we are ready for some football. I'm your host, Matt Lowry, and alongside me are 25-year fantasy football veterans Henry the Commish Brick and Professor Steve Wynn. What a jam-packed show we have for you in store today. We will cover news and injuries around the NFL. Our Week 4 starts, the studs, duds, and sleepers, and a little contest for our listeners called Beat the Commish.
Yeah.
All right, lines are open at 609-573-3776. That's 609-573-ESPN. Call in. Let's get things started. Let's face it, it's Week 4. There are teams out there that are now 0-3 or maybe 1-2, and let's face it, you can't afford any more losses. We will help you with your lineups. All right, first off, Commish, how'd you do last week in the Beat the Commish game? Because again, Week 1, how'd you do? Yeah.
Week 1 was not very good. Week 2, I came in second. Week 3, I came in third. But guess what? 28% return on investment, and we have a huge surprise for all our listeners. It's free today to play Beat the Commish, and you can still win $50. Playing for free. Got to go to fpx.com or go to our website, kickassfantasyfootball.com, hit the Beat the Commish tab.
You know, and every week that we've played this game, somebody has won the $50. The Commish has not walked away with shutting anybody out yet. So get in there, get your free opportunity, and play. It's fun. It's cheap. Even when it's not free, it's only $2.
That's right, $2 to play. At the end of the year, whoever beats me by the biggest margin throughout the season gets $1,000. And today you can play for free. This is your opportunity to go up against the best, the Commish.
the third best. The third best.
All right. Hey, Professor, did your prediction of a fresh hell come true last week?
You know, I was down last week. I started out 0-2, so I went out and put up my lowest scoring game of the year, and I won. So, you know what? I can't figure out this season. I'm hoping with the refs being back, things get back into a normal universe.
Yeah, I mean, look at how many games went to overtime and all, and how long they were taking. I mean, have you ever seen a game where like Thursday night, the refs got the standing ovation?
Oh, thank God they're back. Thank God they're back.
All right, remember, you can get all of this great advice and more from the professor right on our website. It's www.kickassfantasyfootball.com. Lots of great stuff on there. Check it out. All right, let's talk news and injuries, brought to you by Distinctive Car Toys, South Jersey's premier auto customization shop. Car Toys adds toys to your car. All right, let's get into the injuries going on. Commish, what do you got for us?
Hakeem Nicks has now been downgraded to out with swelling of the knee for tonight's game versus the Birds. Make sure you get him out of your lineup.
Okay, Matt Forte is still listed as questionable for Monday night with an ankle injury. He was limited in practice Friday. I got to tell you, if you got to make your decision now, sit him.
Fred Jackson and C.J. Spiller both listed as questionable today for the big game. Tashard Choice will carry the load if they cannot go. You got Fred Jackson out with the knee still. He's got the big swelling in the knee, and Spiller has the shoulder issue. So look for Tashard Choice to get it done. It's
a mess. Each of these starters are 50-50 to start. I wouldn't start any of those guys. I'd stay away from the entire mess. You don't know who's going to get the ball. Reggie Bush did practice on Friday. It's a good indicator that he can play today, but he was limited. So there are conflicting reports. I say start him.
Gronkowski listed as questionable with a hip injury, but it looks like he will go today after a very horrible performance last week with 2 catches, 21 yards.
Matt Stafford, not Sean Hill, will play today for the Detroit Lions versus Minnesota. Stafford had a hip injury last week, but he's going to start. If you spend a waiver wire pick on Sean Hill, well, drop him and get somebody else.
Yeah, look for Steven Jackson to possibly sit today. He is listed as questionable with that groin injury.
Yeah, that's a game-time decision. I'd say get Darryl Richardson in there if you got him. Pierre Garçon was limited in practice this week, still listed as questionable with a foot injury.
I got to ask, how in the world can a bruised foot now take 4 weeks, and we're still not sure if you can play with a bruised foot? foot.
Remember
he's got a
Brian
good one.
Westbrook, that Liz Frank injury, which was an odd one, came out of nowhere and sidelined him for a long time.
They need to come out and tell us what's going on, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I have him in the staff league. And every week I'm sitting here going, a bruised foot. He can't possibly be out another week with a bruised foot.
It's the new age of the Shanahanigans 2012 version.
Yeah, he's not screwing you with running backs. He's screwing you with wide receivers.
Exactly,
this year,
exactly.
Garcon, suck it up. Come on.
All right, guys. Finally, with kicker Nate Keating suffering a groin injury Friday, Nick Novak was flown in to kick for the San Diego Superchargers today.
Okay, not quite finally. Darius Hayward-Bay out today. Beanie Wells out today. Stephen Hill out today. Willis McGahee will play. Ahmad Bradshaw will play. And Kenny Britt, still a game-time decision.
Yikes.
All right, news and injuries were brought to you by Distinctive Car Toys. You can find them on the web at Distinctive Car Toys. That's cartoys.com. Get your car fully customized at their Pleasantville location next to Kmart. Anything from a keyless remote start to a full car customization. Car Toys is the most innovative car customizer in its class. And I have to say, I believe this is the first time I got through that without flubbing any of the words.
It's your Superman shirt,
It's
man.
Car Toys with a Z.
That's right, Car Toys with a Z. Check them out. Great stuff there. All right, guys, we got a couple minutes left in the segment, and I wanted to bring something up because there are a lot of teams that are now 0-3 or what's your record now, Professor?
Are we going to talk about a team where the commission's sons own two of the teams? Really?
No.
My boys are doing well.
And trading you?
All right, but I did want to talk a little bit about the trades because I will be honest, Professor, and I have to give you a little nod. After our draft and the big money league that we're in together, and yes, the commission and I are partners against you, I thought you had the best draft coming out of there. When I looked at them all, I said, you know what? He did the best. He has the best team going and the best shot.
You know what the problem there is?
What's that?
It was too deep. I've left my highest scoring player on the bench every single week this season. So I'm trying to trade away depth to get some studs.
Hey, and remember, you got 3 quarterbacks.
I do.
But and I will say, at the same time, I looked at our draft that we had, and I said mediocre at best. I have to be honest. I was not at all that impressed with our team. Yeah. I thought you had the best team going. I thought we were mediocre.
Yeah. Robert Griffin for Michael Crabtree.
Awesome
Yes.
trade.
Jeremy Macklin for Donnie Avery.
Stud.
Yeah.
All right. And yes, and that's what I wanted.
Theft.
This Matt, you bring up some good stuff here. It's we're going into week 4, and when you're down with a bad record right now, teams tend to get into a situation where they do panic trades. But there's also situations that are going the other way. People are overvaluing players. I mean, let's talk about Pierre Garçon for just a second. Possibly doesn't play again this week. Yeah,
right.
When he plays, he is a stud, and it definitely could be a top 10 performing wide receiver. But if you're now 1 win, 2 losses going into week 4, and you don't have that stud receiver, don't you got to make a move? You know what I mean?
I disagree 110%.
So you would go 1 win, 3 losses, and not trade Garçon?
Yes, absolutely. If you have good players and your scoring is up, and you've just had the bad luck of the draw. I mean, if you're scoring 90 points a game in a 140 average league, you probably need to make a move. But if you're scoring 150 and you just happen to have lost a couple, keep riding, because wins and losses are luck. Scoring is not.
Okay, you know what? You make some great points, Professor. But I will say this: I've seen it every year, especially that we've been running the league that we run. People do tend to overvalue players, and you stick with them so long that all of a sudden now you're at 7 losses and you have no shot at playoffs and no shot at the money. So don't get stuck on some of these guys that that's going to make your team better. Yeah, eventually it's going to make another team better. In the meantime, you got to play week to week. I say it every year. We draft Matt to play week 1,
and he does mean it.
And then after that, you open up the trading lines, because I'm looking every week. How do I win this week? And then next week, I'm going to worry about next week. I'm not looking at the playoffs yet. Playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So don't get stuck up on players, man. Make moves and get your team winning now.
But if you drafted a stud like Aaron Rodgers, who has underperformed, don't deal him away.
Right.
Unless you can turn Aaron Rodgers into a decent quarterback, a QB1, and another stud player.
Well, but that's not happening with his performance. His value's down.
I understand it, but that's what I'm saying. Unless you could trade him for some big value right now to turn him into two good players, maybe depending on how bad your team is performing, maybe it's something you got to look at. I mean, if you're 0-3 right now, guess what, man? You got to be in a bad situation. You got to make your team and turn it into a performer instead of a loser.
Well, I think I went to the Super Bowl on an 0-3 team last year without
lost.
trades,
and you lost.
Well, I didn't have farm teams, so I don't get to put together the parts of 3
talking
teams.
Of the farm teams, and I wanted to touch on this for just a minute because, like I said, I thought we had a mediocre draft. Being quite honest, I was not at all happy, and I believe looking at our team now, we only have one player that we drafted. I might be wrong. Maybe we have two. Besides that, yes, the commish has traded away our entire team and completely redone it. But one thing out there, especially for some of these 0-3 teams now, he does have the art of the trade. Everyone goes and sees him for a trade first thing, and I think a lot of that, and I want to let the secret out a bit for people in other leagues to realize, he has 15 to 20 trade offers out a week? Would that be fair to say?
Absolutely. I'm always throwing out trade offers because when people want a player, guess where they come to? They come to the commission.
And it is insane because he'll offer you just about anything for anything, and it's just to keep that line of communication open to say, hey, I'm looking to trade, I'm willing to trade. And the sick thing is, I have seen people come to him and ask him for a player on someone else's team. They want to trade for, and it's like, well, why didn't you go to that team? Well, I know you can get him, so you just get him for me. And so I'm just saying, there is some value out there that when you are constantly out there, I know a lot of people preach, you know what, why make the trade? This trade doesn't help you at all. It's the same guy for the same guy. Henry makes that trade if it's the same guy for the same guy just to have it out there. Especially
because that waiver wire is so thin right now. I mean, I said it even in preseason. The thinnest position we have going into the draft was running back. And it is still thin, man. It's tough. After running back, you got to make some moves to build that team up.
So, just a suggestion out there. Hey, if you're hurting, throw trade offers out there and keep throwing them out there. He throws the most ridiculous offers out there. Not that that's going to go through, but it lets everyone know if you're looking to trade, the first person everyone in our league talks to, you have to admit, is Henry.
That's true.
And so it completely turned our team around. We're 3-0 with a mediocre draft.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, when we come back, we're going to open up the phone lines. Again, that number 609-573-ESPN. That's 609-573-3776. We'll give you the last-minute lineup help that you need. You're listening to the Pick-A-Lillian Kick-Ass Fantasy Football Show here on 97.3 ESPN.
Famous for a buffalo wing. The Pick-A-Lilly. When it comes to cooking wings, we're the king. The Pick-A-Lilly. Pull up a chair, grab a table, enjoy the atmosphere. Have something good to eat or have yourself around here. Can't stop in, stop back. Great food, great drinks where everybody is a friend. You can't stop in, stop back. The Pick-A-Lillian.
It isn't fall without the famous Pick-A-Lilly Inn. Catch all of your favorite football action at the Pick-A-Lilly Inn. Check out the Pick's brand new menu featuring homemade buffalo chicken egg rolls, buffalo shrimp, scallops, and the tender Pick burger. They go great with one of the Pick's ice-cold on-tap beers. Catch every football game at the Pick. Enjoy an awesome meal while you watch your favorite team. The Pick-A-Lilly Inn, a Jersey tradition since the 1920s. On Route 206 in Chemong. If you can't stop in, stop back.
The Pick-A-Lilly Inn.
I'm sexy and I know.
Car Toys, the most innovative car customizing shop in its class. Summer is here, and so's the heat. Better get that remote start so you can cool off in your car in style with your smartphone. Car Toys can install remote start on Mercedes-Benz, push-button start, and stick shift. Reduce that glare with the best 3M window film. And while you're at it, get your car detailed by Car Toys Detail Department so your ride looks, feels, and smells brand new. Car Toys defines what everything for your car really means, from TV to reality. That's why Car Toys is the leader in the industry in car customization. Car Toys' knowledgeable team are the best in their class. Like Car Toys on Facebook and check them out at distinctivecartoys.com.
And welcome back to the Piccalillian Kick-Ass Fantasy Football Show. Our phone lines are open. If you need help from our experts, the number again is 609-573-ESPN. That's 609-573-3776. And we did have a caller who called in while we were on break and had a quick question for you guys. And he wants to know if he should start Stafford or Rivers this week. Professor, what do you think?
I'm going Matt Stafford. I'm not joking around. I think that with the refs back, we are back to normality, and some of these guys that have been underperforming in previous weeks get back on the right path.
You know what? They both have great matchups this week. Stafford going against Minnesota at home, Rivers on the road at KC. But you know what? You got to go Stafford. He's got the bigger weapons with Megatron there, like Stafford.
All right. And you two guys agreed. I mean, this is almost like a kumbaya moment here. All right. Well, guys, it is time for my favorite segment. Dude, I'm sorry. Hey, this is where we admit who we messed up with last week. And, Commish, why don't you start us out? Who you sorry for?
Matt, my sleeper pick of the week last week was Kevin Smith. Turns out Mikel Ashur made sure Kevin Smith stayed asleep. I had the right position, the right game, but the wrong running back. For this, dude, I'm sorry.
Well, out of 18 on the record picks last week, I had one miss.
I love how you always lead yours out. You can't just say, you know what, I just messed this one up. But let me tell you all my good stuff first.
I'm going to tell you the good stuff after.
He's better.
Go ahead.
Matt Castle was a dud. Took a complete backseat to the Chiefs' running game, and for that, dude, I'm sorry.
0.0.
All right, but go ahead. Now,
so
who are you the man about?
Aside from Castle, near perfect week for the week. Stud and sleeper, Maurice Jones-Drew, Torrey Smith. My dud was Vincent Jackson. Michael LaSure was my reach. Roethlisberger, Luck, Rudolph, Pitta, Bush, hell, even Stevie Johnson and Antonio Brown chipped in with touchdowns each. I was on fire last week. I am the man.
And I love how you do that. I love how you say, you know what, I'm sorry about this, but I'm really, all in all, I was great.
You know, it's hard to get a lot of picks right with this stuff. It's definitely a challenge, and pulling off a perfect week is my holy grail, and I've come that close 3 times. And
breaking your arm, patting yourself on the back about it.
I want to say great job, Professor. You know, blind squirrel does find a nut every once in a while.
17 of them.
Well, listen, last week I was all over the player of the week, Jamal Charles. I even said with his slow start weeks 1 and 2, he should blow it up, and he did. He had 233 yards rushing, 55 receiving, and that includes a 40-yard scamper for a touchdown. Yes, I'm the man.
My, isn't this an awkward moment?
And who had Charles in our league?
Oh, I believe that was. So we did draft him, by the way. He's one of the originals.
That was one of the few. All right. It's time to get into our Piccalilli picks of the week. Hey, you know to start your studs, but we dig a little deeper to help you find guys who have a great shot this week in week 4. Hey, if you got a guy either on a bye week or, let's face it, just isn't performing, these are guys you can plug in and can help you win in week 4. Commish, why don't you lead us out at quarterback? Who do you got for us?
Matt, I got RG3 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They gave up 510 yards passing just a couple weeks ago to Eli. I'm loving RG3 to get it done not only through the air, but of course on the ground. He is a stud and should be the player of the year at quarterback.
All right.
Well, I'm loving the opportunity to pick this guy because I never get to pick him. Aaron Rodgers plays the Saints. Aaron Rodgers, the 23 quarterback on the year in his total stats. The Saints are the cure to what ails you at every position. Play him.
How about Andy Dalton is going up against Jacksonville. Dalton playing very well as of late. He's got 3 great targets with Green, Hawkins, and Gresham. I think he gets it done big time today.
Cam Newton gets the Falcons today. There's a little risk in putting your quarterback up against the depleted Falcons. Their run D is also very vulnerable, but this is the week where we leave Bizarro World. The stars start performing like stars.
I love it.
And the Panthers will have to throw to keep up with the Falcons, so I give Cam the edge this week.
Hey, guys, how about Christian Ponder last week? Got it done against San Fran. This week,
good against San Fran.
Stud. He's getting it done big time. He's got Detroit this week. They're giving up the 16th most fantasy points to quarterbacks. He's playing very well. I ponder a thought to start him.
Stud. I mean, he's good, but I don't know about stud.
This week, stud. Get him in your lineup. Get him in your lineup.
Did he say in the same sentence Christian Ponder and the word stud?
She said stud twice.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Get him in there.
Well, I got Michael Vick up against the Giants. I hate making this call. I really do. But the Giants defensive backs stink. The Eagles need to play up this week. It's a tough call to make, but I think he does it.
All right, sounds good. And let's go to the phone lines real quick. We got a couple of callers on the line. We got Eugene from Buna. Eugene, welcome to the show. What's your question?
Yeah, this is the bacon man.
Hey,
Y'all guys
Eugene.
helped me out last week. I didn't burn the bacon.
All right.
I between Daniel Thomas and Lamar Miller, which one of those would be best to back up Michael Bush? Don't look like he's going to be playing.
Reggie Bush.
It's a tough question because Daniel Thomas is the short-term guy, but Lamar Miller's got the better talent. So I think that Reggie Bush is playing today, so that's answer number one. But in the short term, the next 3 or 4 games, I think Thomas is the better play. Over the course of the full season, if Reggie Bush does have a long-term injury, it's Miller, but Thomas for now.
Commissioner?
You think McGahee for Denver is going to be in there a long time today, or you think he might be limited?
Yeah, I think actually he is going to play. He has been practicing this week. I expect him to play and do well today.
All right.
Okay, and one more real quick.
Sure.
Deshaun Jackson or San Antonio Holmes, the best shot for the teams they're playing.
Well, the Jets got San Fran this week, one of the toughest defense. Deshaun's going up against a real weak secondary with the Giants. Professor was just talking about that. I think I got to go Deshaun here.
Yeah, 100% with Deshaun Jackson on that one, too.
All right. Thanks,
right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for the call, Eugene. Let's go back to the phones. We got Will from Upper Township. Will, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing, guys? My team's hurting this year. I'm 0-3.
Oh, okay.
And my running backs are even hurting even more. I got Matt Forte, but he's not playing. So tell me who I should play out of these 4 guys. Okay. We got Fred Jackson, Daniel Thomas, Deshaun Choice, and Mark Ingram.
Wow. I tell you what, if it looks like Fred Jackson may not play today, you got to watch up until game time. Check that injury report out. If he's not, Deshaun Choice is an easy one. Reggie Bush is probably going to play, so I guess I'd have to lean towards Ingram here.
Yeah, I think Ingram's the right choice. Well, it sounds like you draft like the commission, trade like the professor. You want to switch that around. But I think Ingram's the best play of those guys.
I appreciate it, guys.
All right,
man.
Thanks for the call. And I want to let everyone know we got a special going today. Everyone who calls into the show gets a Sunday Fun Day shirt from the Piccalilli Inn. Hey, it is the Eagles-Giants tonight, and we got Eagles green versus Giants blue. You got the shirt of your choice. Go out to the Piccalilli Inn. You can wear your shirt, root for your team, and make sure both sides are represented. All of our callers today get a free Sunday Fun Day shirt from the Piccalilli Inn on Route 206 in Chemung, New Jersey.
Yeah, you Philly fans, get out there, get your green shirts on. The Giants fans are always well represented at the Pick. It is a great place to go watch a game.
Yeah, so when you call in, just give us your name, and we'll let Everett know, our favorite bartender at the Pick, that you're coming in. You'll see Everett pick up your Sunday Fun Day shirt for tonight's big game.
All right. Now, I want to remind everyone again, so if you got any lineup questions, or hey, you just want to call in and come up with a question so you get your Sunday Fun Day shirt, give us a call, 609-573-ESPN. That's 609-573-3776. All right, let's get back to our Piccalilli Picks of the Week and talk about some tight ends. Professor, lead us out. Who do you got?
Well, Tony Gonzalez playing the Panthers. People may remember this guy. He was an afterthought in the draft, but he's currently the #1 tight end for fantasy. The Panthers D, especially their linebackers, not very good. Get him in there.
How about Antonio Gates versus Kansas City? He's 2 weeks now removed from that rib injury and easily the #1 target for Rivers. So it's safe to play Gates, and I think he gets it done.
Okay, I got Jacob Tammy playing the Raiders. McGahee's a little dinged up. Manning will lean a little bit more on the tight end to fill in the short yardage game for the Broncos, so get him in there.
How about Jermaine Gresham going up against Jacksonville? I love Dalton today, and I love him throwing to Jermaine Gresham in a big way in the end zone this week.
And for the 4th straight week, I am picking Kyle Rudolph. I think he's borderline becoming one of those guys I can't pick anymore. But he has been paying off. There is no reason to sit him, folks.
All right, Greg Olson, Matt. I put this one in there for you.
There you go.
Goes up against Atlanta. He's looked really well. He's getting the deep ball looks these past couple weeks from Cam. They're going up against hot Atlanta right now, and they're going to have to pass a lot in this game to keep up. So look for Olson to get targeted early and often.
I think the linebackers are the only healthy guys on that Falcons defense.
Well, and I have to say, you throw me the bone with Olson, but then you caveat it by saying because of how far behind we're going to be that you like him.
Call it
like
Cam. Call it like I see it.
All right, guys, let's get into our wide receivers Piccalilli picks of the week. What do you got for us, Kamish?
Matt, I like VJack this week going against Washington. They gave up the most fantasy points to wide receiver. VJack should go off in this one.
Well, I got Larry Fitzgerald up against the Dolphins, continuing with this return from bizarro world that we've got going on with the real refs back. The Cards get the woeful Dolphins past D in Week 4. Fitz's ranking will climb higher than his current number 35 at wide receiver.
All right. Nice stuff. Malcolm Floyd going up against KC. Boy, I'm picking a lot of Chargers today. He just signed a big extension, so he's very motivated to have a big game, and the only wide receiver threat the Chargers actually have.
We're going to have a conversation about whether contract extension signings are good for your performance or bad for your performance in a later segment. I got Brandon Lloyd up against the Bills. He's still Brady's top target. The Patriots are going to come out. They're going to stomp a mud hole in the Buffalo Bills after getting after they feel they got robbed last week. So a pissed Bill Belichick is not something anyone wants to see.
$50,000 fine, by the way, for Belichick on that.
He's not a happy man.
All right, guys. Andrew Hawkins versus Jacksonville. Love this guy. He's made the highlight reel almost every week this season. He may prove to be a strong WR2 by season's end.
And Leonard Hankerson, one of my sleepers in the preseason. Great reach last week. He gets the promotion. He is now a solid play. RG3 is the number one quarterback for fantasy. Defense forces him to have to score in bunches.
All right, sounds good. So we got through our wide receivers. That means it's time for our running back Piccalilli picks of the week. Professor, what do you got for us?
Well, I got last week's Michael LaShore reach gets promoted up to the big leagues. LaShore is a legit fantasy starter. He may be a legit fantasy number one. If you drafted him, be happy. Keep riding him, but don't get used to it. He's fragile.
Frank Gore goes up against the Jets today. They're allowing 142 yards rushing per game, and with no Revis to San Fran, and Gore will feast on the Jets all day today.
Well, Alfred Morris gets the Buccaneers this week. Bucs run defense, fair, but Shanahan can't pull anything on fantasy owners this year. Roy Helu's on IR. Evan Royster's dinged up. There's nothing he can do. Morris is a reliable RB2 with RB1 upside every week.
The law firm goes up against the Jags, who give up the second most fantasy points to running backs. That's 131 yards a game, guys. He could be a big fantasy player today in a blowout.
And Cedric Benson, the Packers running back, gets the Saints this week. Saints had the worst run D in the NFL, period. Benson may be an afterthought in the Packers' pass-oriented offense, but this week they'll be up, and Benson will be killing the clock.
Man, I was thinking of you when I was writing this. Jonathan Stewart is back this week, thank God, because that is what the Carolina Panthers have been missing. He is playing today. They're going to need him not only in the rushing game, but in the passing game. I love him today.
All right, and I have to say, Professor, you must not be feeling too well because this is 2 weeks in a row. You have not tried to slip in a kicker or a D in our Piccalilli picks of the week.
Kyle Rudolph is fantasy gold for me. He's wonderful for this show.
All right, well, we got we got Everett on the phone from the Piccalilli Inn to give one more set of Piccalilli picks of the week. Everett, welcome to the show, man.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Everett.
Hey, Everett, how's it going out there at the pick today? You guys got any great fantasy football or regular football food specials going on today?
Oh, yeah, we got a ton of them. Today, again, we have the burger and wing combo for $9.95. It's a great combo. You get to taste everything that we have, one of our delicious burgers, and our very, very famous wings.
Yeah,
not only that,
those
on
wings are
draft,
the best.
We have our $1.95 Coors Light draft specials, $5.99 for the pitcher, and for all intents and purposes, today is the biggest day of Piccalilli of the season so far because it is Giants and Eagles.
Love it.
So what's up with these Sunday Funday shirts too? You got shirts for us for our callers, right?
Yes, I do. We have shirts to give away. It should be a great time. The game is at 8 o'clock tonight, so all Bud Light Platinum, $2 bottles, all green bottles are $3 due to the Eagles game being on. So I mean, there's a ton of things to give away, to buy.
Yeah, this is the premier Sunday to be out there at the pick. Everett, let's get your picks of the week. Who you got a quarterback for us this week?
At quarterback, I feel like Jay Cutler's been catching a lot of flack for the past couple weeks. I have a feeling that he's going to put up some numbers today. He's just taking a beating out there. The front line, he's getting knocked around every day. I feel like he's going to have a big week. You can't. These guys that are starters every week, that you question whether they're going to be there or not, and they take it pride. I haven't really seen ever in an interview where an NFL player will tell you that they are bad.
Yeah, you know what? There's a school of thought that says the real refs coming back does wonders for the protection of the quarterbacks who have been really getting beat up in this season. So I like that pick a lot. How about running back? Who you got?
Running backs, as a Redskins fan, I'm hoping to see a lot of Alfred Morris today.
You're right there with me, Everett.
Against Tampa Bay. I think that's going to be a good pick today.
And I love that because I got him in our staff league.
Yeah,
there you go.
You can't go wrong going with one of the professor's picks, Everett. So that's a great one. How about a wide receiver?
It always sounds good.
A wide receiver? Who's our stud?
This is a real stretch, but it seems to always happen. It's only strictly for deep leagues, I feel. And I'm going to pick Jason Avant. He always kills the Giants. It doesn't matter if he's the number 3 slot receiver with Brent Selleck and all these other options. Jason Avant has killed the Eagles every year. So it's a deep league pick, and that's what I'm going with for my receiver.
That's who Vic looks for on third downs. Everett, great pick.
Yeah, Everett dipping into the sleeper territory with Jason Avant. But you know what? That rationale is top line. That's good stuff. Now, Everett, I just want to remind our listeners all over the tri-state area, it's worth the drive out to the Piccalilli Inn on Route 206 in Chemung, New Jersey. The wings, as we mentioned, are world class. The scallops, anything you guys, buffalo sauce is fantastic. Everett will make sure that you have a cold beer in your hand fast. Every NFL game is up on a screen every Sunday, and you get college games, baseball playoffs, the whole show. Take a ride out to the pick. Take it up from Route 30 if you're down here in the Atlantic City area, up 206. Treat yourself to a great time. It's a great place to hang out, Everett.
Thank you guys very much, and I'll be here waiting for whoever's coming by.
All right.
Excellent.
Eagles Giants tonight. Eagles Giants. Big night.
All right, thanks a lot, Everett. All right, we got some callers on the line. Let's go to Cole and Vintner. Cole, welcome to the show. What's your question?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
All right.
I'm in a PPR league, and I'm torn between 3 receivers. I got Wes Welker, Danny Amendola, or Colston, who's been killing me all year long. He already burned me the first 2 weeks, so I just want to hang up and see what you guys think.
All righty.
Well, Welker's got a great matchup this week. So in the PPR environment, I really like him. You got the injury to Hernandez, which has really hurt the whole 2 tight end scheme, which really has opened up things well for Welker. That's who I like out of these 3. Professor, what about you?
You know what? Gronkowski's a little dinged up too, and I think that I think Edelman is a little dinged up. So Welker is a great play today.
All right, sounds good. Did y'all agree again?
Crazy, isn't
it? You injure enough players in that offense, somebody's got to catch the passes.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got John from EHT on the phone. John, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on? I've got a quick question for you. The non-PPR league, which receiver do you like better, Jeremy Maclin or Denarius Moore?
Wow. You know what? I'm going Maclin. He's back this week. You got a real dinged-up Giants D, and Maclin seems to get into the end zone versus the Giants every year, so I'm going Maclin here.
I'm going to go the other way on this one. I think
there we go. That's what I was waiting for.
Denarius Moore without Darius Hayward-Bay gets a lot more focus in that offense, and I think he's going to get force-fed the ball all day long against the Broncos.
All right. Thanks for the call, John. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got Bill from Dover on the phone. Bill, welcome to the show.
All right, how you guys doing?
Great,
all right.
My question is, I'm not sure about Reggie Bush today, how much he's going to get at playing time. Should I start Reggie Bush or Pierre Thomas?
Wow, you know what? Bush has a very tough matchup today. And plus, he is a little dinged up. And Pierre Thomas has been getting it done. I think I'm leaning towards Thomas here.
Yeah, you know what? I got it. Much as I like Bush today, and I am going to start him in my game where I've got him, I would go with Pierre Thomas as an alternate option this week.
All right.
Can I ask a second question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, a trade offer that I was offered, and I'm not sure.
Okay.
I have Aaron Rodgers. The guy wants me to trade me Arian Foster for Aaron Rodgers, and I have Flacco as my backup.
All day long.
Yeah,
Do
that.
Do it quick before he changes his mind.
Yeah, if you got Flacco as your backup, even if he cools off a little bit and drops down to maybe the number 8 quarterback for fantasy, you have won that trade.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Pull that trigger and hope he's not listening to the show and rejects it before pulls it back before. Because let's face it, if you were drafting right now, who's going to still be the number 1 draft pick you're going to go with? It's Arian Foster. So you take that all day long and twice on Sunday. All right, let's go back to phone lines. We got Tim from Northfield on the phone. Tim, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Just wondering if you can help me out. I got to start 2 of these guys. I got Demaryius Thomas, I got Miles Austin, and Malcolm Floyd. Second part of that question is, I got Breeze. And, you would never usually ask about this guy. I got RG3 sitting on the bench. Breeze hasn't put up any monster games yet, and I know tonight might be a shootout. So if you could help me out with those two. I'm 0-3.
Wow. Okay. I love RG3. I mean, I believe that he will be the number 1 fantasy player of the year this year. You cannot have him on the bench. Breeze has been, you're right, he's been up and down without Sean Payton in there to give him some coaching that he desperately needs. I think we're going to see that all year. RG3 has been consistent. He's been getting it done every week. You need a win. Get RG3 in there.
Yeah, I think they're both solid plays. I think I give the edge a little bit to Breeze, but it's a coin flip. Breeze will be in a shootout. He will be tossing it a bunch. Even with Sean Payton on the side, not on the sidelines, he knows that he's got to throw to catch up from that 35-10 deficit. So expect a lot of yards and a lot of attempts.
All right.
Oh, and we didn't answer his receiver question.
So you need one of the 3. You have Thomas.
I got to put in 2. Thomas, Miles Austin, and Floyd.
I like Malcolm Floyd and
Thomas, right?
Yeah, I think Thomas. Yeah.
I think that's the play there. Malcolm Floyd and Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the call. Let's go back to phone lines. We got Commissioner Kirk on the phone from EHT. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Commish. Good morning.
Henry, it's Kirk. What's up?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Kirk?
All right, no, just calling in. Just a quick question.
Sure.
Because I'm calling against Steve this week. Should I play Eli or Tony Romo as my quarterback?
Wow. Let's see. Eli's going up against the Birds, who actually been a little stout against the pass. So I'm probably not going to play Eli this week. What do you think?
I got him back to back in my own projections, so it's another coin flip. But I do like Romo better here.
Romo on plus, Romo's at home Monday Night Football. Players get up on Monday Night Football. Yeah, Romo's the play.
I know, but Steve's got Victor Cruz, and I'm thinking, do I got to fade that?
Well, he's got no Knicks.
Yeah, there's no Akeem Nicks. He's out, so they're going to be double teaming Cruz all day.
Yeah.
All right. All right, thanks, Kirk, for the call. Let's go back to the, and I want to remind everyone again, all of our callers in, stop by the Piccalilli Inn on Route 206 in Chemung, New Jersey. You get a free Sunday Fun Day shirt. So, John, Commish Kirk, all you guys who've called in, we got your names here. We're going to be passing those on to Everett. Stop by and see him. Get your Eagles green or your Giants blue. Check out the game, root for you guys. All right, let's go back.
Great wings, $1.95 beers. I think the T-shirt's just a icing on that cake.
And treat yourself to the scallops. They're awesome.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got Joe from Mays Landing on the phone. Joe, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
All right, what do you got for us?
I had a rough year, man, so I'm fighting for wins here. I got a bad running back situation. I got Jonathan Stewart, Bilal Powell, or Matt Forte. Who would you start this week?
Wow, I don't know that Forte is going to go on Monday night. He's still listed as questionable. Wow, you do have it tough, man. Bilal Powell actually may be your best shot, but, he's got a tough matchup against San Fran, so... I mean, I guess Stewart will be straight, right?
Stewart's the best play there. But, you've got a tough road with Forte injured. Powell is moving his way up in number of carries, but Stewart's the better play right now.
All right. Thanks for the call, Joe. And we got one more call on. Vinny, welcome to the show. What do you got for us?
What's going on, guys? Just had a couple quick questions. I'm gonna flex. I got a flex player. It's a PPR league. I got Jamal Charles, or I could start Pierre Garçon or Dwayne Bowe.
Well, Bo and Garçon, Bo is listed as questionable, Professor. Garçon, I don't think, is going to play today. Charles is an easy choice here, isn't he?
Yeah, if Charles is your flex, I envy your running back situation. But, that's an easy one.
All right.
Yeah, I just didn't like the matchup. And real quick, the quarterback, I got Peyton Manning and Andy Dalton. I know you guys said Andy Dalton earlier, but I don't know about.
Yeah, you know what? I like Andy Dalton over Peyton Manning too.
Yeah, Dalton's the play. He's the hot hand.
All right.
Cool. Guys, thank you very much.
All right,
thanks a lot. All right. Well, when we come back, we're going to keep the phone lines going at 609-573-3776. Call us if you need any last-minute lineup help. We're also going to get into some of our reaches of the week, and we still have our studs, duds, and sleepers. You're listening to the Piccalilli Inn Kick-Ass Fantasy Football Show here on 97.3 ESPN.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Car Toys, the most innovative car customizing shop in its class. Summer is here, and so's the heat. Better get that remote start so you can cool off in your car in style with your smartphone. Car Toys can install remote start on Mercedes-Benz, push-button start, and stick shift. Reduce that glare with the best 3M window fill. And while you're at it, get your car detailed by Car Toys Detail Department so your ride looks, feels, and smells brand new. Car Toys defines what everything for your car really means, from TV to reality. That's why Car Toys is the leader in the industry in car customization. Car Toys' knowledgeable team are the best in their class. Like Car Toys on Facebook and check them out at distinctivecartoys.com.
Fantasy football owners, it's draft time, and kickassfantasyfootball.com makes it easy.
How do we make it easy?
Projections from the experts, cheat sheets with your scoring rules.
What else?
Articles all season long, waiver wire picks, trade advice, everything you need to win a championship.
How about a free judgment from fantasyjudgment.com, a $15 value?
Now we're talking.
Subscribe today for just $9.95, and we'll throw in a complimentary cruise for two to the Bahamas.
Cruise to a championship with kickassfantasyfootball.com.
We're famous for our buffalo wings. The Piccalilli. When it comes to cooking wings, we're the king. The Piccalilli. Pull up a chair, grab a table, enjoy the atmosphere. Have something good to eat or have yourself around here. Can't stop in, stop back. Great food, great drinks where everybody is a friend. You can't stop in, stop back. The Piccalilli Inn.
It isn't fall without the famous Piccalilli Inn. Catch all of your favorite football action at the Piccalilli Inn. Check out the Pick's brand new menu featuring homemade buffalo chicken egg rolls, buffalo shrimp, scallops, and the tender Pick Burger. They go great with one of the Pick's ice-cold on-tap beers. Catch every football game at the Pick. Enjoy an awesome meal while you watch your favorite team. The Piccalilli Inn, a Jersey tradition since the 1920s. On Route 206 in Chemong. If you can't stop in, stop back.
The Piccalilli Inn.
Now is your chance to experience the new game that's transforming fantasy sports. Fantasy Player Exchange is a new daily game that allows you to compete against friends and fantasy foes for cash prizes. With FPX, you can select 5 players from any active sport. Sign up now at fantasyplayerexchange.com for your chance to beat ESPN Radio's Henry the Commish Brick and win $1,000 cash. Go to fantasyplayerexchange.com to sign up and play today. Remember, that's fantasyplayerexchange.com.
All right, and welcome back to the Piccalilli Inn Kick-Ass Fantasy Football Show. Hey, I want to open up the phone lines, keep them going, because let's face it, you need some help to win. This is week 4. You're in must-win time. We got to straighten out your team. So give us a call, 609-573-3776. That's 609-573-ESPN. You can also get all of this information we're giving you on our website. It's kickassfantasyfootball.com to help get your lineup set. All right, let's go back to the phones. We got Howie from AC on the phone. Howie, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing? I'm in a 16-team point per reception league.
Now we're
I already made a huge mistake this week. I started Peta instead of Gates. I need to get bailed out now.
All right.
2 questions. At running back, I could go with Jacobs or the guy Miller from Miami. I guess Peyton Hillis is hurt, right?
Yeah, Peyton Hillis is a little bit banged up, so wow.
Well, I have Peyton Hillis, I got Miller, and I got Jacobs. I could start one of those three.
Yeah, you know what? I love this question because we have to go super deep on a 16-team league question like this. Brandon Jacobs just coming back from his injury. He may come on in future weeks, but he's a guy that you have to see it before you believe it. So I would go with Lamar Miller.
Yep, Lamar Miller's your guy.
And at receiver, I got Sidney Rice or Dominic Hickson.
I think is Hickson still dinged up?
No, Hickson will play.
Hickson
he will play tonight. Okay. So all the people that spent all their money on Ramsey's Barton is going to be a little upset because Hickson is going to play. But they are going up against a tough corners with the Eagles. So Seattle, wow, Sidney Rice against St. Louis. I think I kind of like that a little bit better.
Tough. Yeah, it's tough. And I have Cruz. So Cruz is playing.
Oh, then you got to think you got to go Rice. Then you got to go Rice.
Agreed.
All right,
you got to go Sidney Rice.
All right, thanks for the call. Let's move on. We got a few more on the phone here. We got Tom from Ocean City. Tom, welcome to the show. What's your question?
I ended up with Phillip Rivers as my quarterback in both of my leagues.
Okay.
And needless to say, I'm disappointed. I did pick up Breeze this week in one league and Schaub in the other.
Wow, how many people are in this league?
Breeze, but how about Schaub over Rivers? Is that a good pick?
Schaub over Rivers.
I would go Schaub over Rivers this week, yes. I think that's a good play.
Okay. And then lastly, what's the latest on C.J. Spiller?
He's 50-50 to play. Fred Jackson's 50-50 to play. And Tayshard Choice is there and ready. I wouldn't touch any of them.
I'll tell you what, though. I disagree. If you find out that they're not playing, go Choice because it is an awesome matchup.
All right, we got just a couple minutes left, so let's go real quick. We got Tony from Newcastle on the phone. Tony, what do you got?
Hey, man, wondering if I should start Cam Newton versus Atlanta or Phillip Rivers against Kansas City.
Wow. I like Cam Newton this week.
Oh, yeah, Cam Newton's the easy winner there. I don't like Rivers at all this week.
Yeah, Cam's the play, baby.
All right, and thanks for the call. Now we got Elliot from Delaware on the phone. Elliot, welcome to the show.
Good morning, fellas. How you doing today?
Hey, all right, what do you got?
I have got a league where I got Jimmy Graham and Gronkowski this week, so I'm putting Graham in the starting position because Gronkowski's a little nicked up.
Sure. Yeah.
But when I go to my flex spot now, I got Ryan Williams from Arizona, I got Gronkowski, and I got LaSure from Detroit, and it's a non-PPR league. Who would you put in that flex spot?
I like Ryan Williams a lot, but Michael LaSure has a shot to be a top 5 running back this week, so I think you go there.
Well, keep in mind LaSure is a little bit banged up. He's listed as questionable on the injury report, so if he is, then I think I'm going to go Williams.
All right. Thanks for the call. We also got Tony from Linwood on the phone. Tony, welcome to the show. What's your question?
Okay, I got a tough situation. I got my I have 3 running backs. I have Lynch, Murray, and Morris. And I have 3 wide receivers: Fitzgerald, Macklin, and Denarius Moore. Who's the odd man out?
Okay. Pick one out of each. Who doesn't get?
I was still writing down his receivers, so I'm hoping the commish got that. I got the running backs, though. I would go with Murray and Morris this week.
Yeah, Lynch would be that guy out.
Lynch would be the guy out.
I think you always got to start Fitz every week. He's a must start. So it'll be between Moore and Macklin. I'm leaning towards Macklin. I know the professor's probably leaning towards Moore, but I like Macklin. I think he's a Sunday night game. They're at home, and he does well against the Giants.
All right. Thanks for the calls, and we got a special guest with us right now. We got Victor from FantasyPlayerExchange.com to talk about the Beat the Commish game that you can play this weekend for free. That's right. You can get your lineup in and not pay anything for it. Victor, welcome to the show.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Victor, thanks for coming on, man. I'm getting better at this thing. I'm loving it. I'm so into it. I'm digging deep. I even got punters starting since I got beat by a team of punters last week, Vic. That's crazy.
Yeah, you were very close. You were number 3 last week. You were almost to the top. A little bit more, you're going to get there.
Yeah, this is my week. I feel it.
Well, I just wanted to mention to you guys that we actually just started a brand new promo starting today, that anybody that signs up today is going to get $10 free to play. Besides the Beat the Commish, they can spend another $8 anywhere they want.
Oh, wow.
There
Are
you
you kidding
go.
me? That's awesome. So they sign up today, they get $10 free in their account to play against me to beat the commish game.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
so one person is guaranteed $50, and then you're playing with house money.
Pretty much.
Man, you can't. That's awesome. That is awesome. So all our listeners, please, fantasyplayerexchange.com, beat the commish. Go against me. You want to click the beat the commish. It's a giant tab right at the top of the page, right? Right, Victor?
Yep. You can't miss it. It's a huge thing that says beat the commish right on it.
Wow. So you get to play this week for free against Beat the Commish, and then $10 in your account.
Eight more bucks.
Oh,
So you
eight
got
more bucks.
Four more games.
I got you. So 4 more games.
For the next 5 weeks and play the beat the commish game the whole time you want.
Wow.
You play the $2 and beat the commish game and play the rest of it this week.
Wow, that is awesome. I mean, you can't beat that.
Right, and the head guy gets $1,000 at the end of the season who beats you, right? Isn't that right, Victor?
Yeah, absolutely. Whoever beats the commish gets $1,000 at the very end of the season. Yeah. So right now there's a bunch of them who have a chance. So let's hopefully see how the commissioner is going to do this week. Maybe he'll come out on top.
I'm feeling strong, Victor. I feel like I've put together a solid team. I don't feel like anyone out there can beat me. I do challenge all our listeners to go take 5 minutes, go to fantasyplayerexchange.com, check out the Beat the Commish game. But listen, if for some reason you can't make it to a computer, you guys just got college, isn't that right? So that's a great Saturday
That is
play.
correct. Yeah, we started college last week, and it's been a pretty big hit. We've had a lot of people use the college players the past 2 weeks, and I'm not the big expert on college. There's so many teams, but I know yesterday was the highest scoring day in college since 1937.
Oh my God!
So more points scored yesterday than any other time since 1937. So people are definitely getting some good returns on that.
Well, you know where the great place to get your returns out of our show is listening to the reaches and sleepers. Those are the guys that'll far outperform. So you play those guys. You don't play Aaron Rodgers. You play, Jacquizz Rodgers.
Well, right. Deep reaches is what you need to win if you have any shot of beating me. Not that I think anyone has a shot,
except for the 3 guys that have won in the 3 weeks
listen,
of play.
Like I said, I got to give everyone a little leeway to want to play because this week is my week. I'm feeling confident.
All right, awesome. Victor. Appreciate the call in, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, thanks. Hey, and I want to remind everyone that you can check out the Beat the Commish game. It is fantasyplayerexchange.com. It's great stuff. Get in there, and you can play for free. I mean, it's free money, right? Like the professor said, house money.
Yeah, it's normally a 25-1 payoff if you beat the commish and you're the top performer. This week, it's an infinite payoff because you're getting $50 for nothing.
$50. That's awesome. And you get $10 if you sign up to that.
Yeah, all right.
Awesome.
So, guys, let's get into our reaches of the week, brought to you by the fantasyplayerexchange.com. Play daily multi-sport fantasy against your friends for as little as $2 by picking 5 players of any sport and compete for cash at fantasyplayerexchange.com. And with the reaches of the week, those are the guys you need in order to win big at fantasyplayerexchange.com. Commish, what do you got for us?
My first reach of the week is going to be Josh Freeman going up against Washington. Washington gives up the most fantasy points to quarterbacks so far, although he's hard to consider. With our first bye week, he's a good reach and a great matchup this week if you need him.
Yeah, that is the key to winning something like Fantasy Player Exchange. I got, as I mentioned, Jacquizz Rodgers. He's in a committee split with Michael Turner right now. Both of them had a TD last week. The Panthers' defense is Swiss cheese, no offense.
Easy.
And Andre Brown tore him apart in week 2. If the Falcons get a hold of this game early, which they should, expect a lot of touches for Jacquizz Rodgers.
I know this is a professor favorite. How about Rod Streeter versus Denver? Should start with DHB out this week. Definitely a decent reach since Champ Bailey isn't getting any younger. And Denver's defense on a whole isn't getting it done. I like him in a pinch this week.
Well, I'm going to give you a running back. Maybe this will help that guy who had the lack of depth in that 16-team league. Lance Ball from Denver with Willis McGahee dealing with a rib injury. They're going to be going to their backups. Lance Ball has got a very decent chance to put up some good numbers against a terrible Oakland defense.
All right, sounds good. And guys, now it is time to get into our studs, duds, and sleepers for Week 4. Commish, who is your stud of the week?
Stud of the week has to be the Beast, Marshawn Lynch versus St. Louis. He averaged over 101 yards and a touchdown against them last year. I like the average to climb this week as the Beast gets his Skittles.
I don't understand the joke, but yeah, it's a good pick. So
he eats Skittles.
He's got a Skittles thing going
on the sidelines.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if you ever watch,
I got. I watch. I don't watch the sidelines. I watch the game.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Doug Martin is my stud of the week. He's got the Redskins defense. They got a bad rush D. They got a bad pass D. He should have his best game as a pro this week.
My dud of the week's got to be Kenny Britt versus Houston. He will be shut down all day versus a stingy Houston defense who give up the third fewest fantasy points to wide receivers.
Yeah, he's dealing with a bent ankle as well, so he's a little dinged up. I got Golden Tate, and the only reason I picked this is to take one last swipe at the replacement refs on their way out the door.
My sleeper of the week's got to be Jerome Simpson versus Detroit. He's back off suspension, and with all the attention being paid to Percy Harvin, Jerome can be quiet but deadly.
Yeah, I've been touting him as a pickup off the waiver wire for the last couple weeks. My sleeper is Ryan Williams. We mentioned him up earlier in the show. Miami is not the easiest matchup for a running back, but Williams is the sole owner of this job with Beanie Wells on the IR. So even if you don't play him, make sure you got him on your roster.
Hey, Kamish, did he just basically take your sleeper and really say it was his sleeper? Is that what he just did?
He's on the waiver report in the newsletter that we put out on kickassfantasyfootball.com every week.
That's a great sleeper pick. I've been touting him for a while now, just so you know. It really was not your idea. It was my idea the whole time.
He's a spin doctor.
All right, right. And real quick, we got just a couple of minutes left. Got to talk about the big game this week, the Giants-Eagles game. It's huge in this area. Who do you think stands out fantasy-wise? And then more importantly, I know it's sad to say this, who do you think wins the game?
Wow, well, I love the Birds. I mean, I think the Birds are going to come back strong this week. They're at home.
Even with all those turnovers.
Even with all the turnovers, I think they're going to find a way to put it together because the Giants' defense, that secondary is hurting. Reed loves to pass the ball. I think Vic gets back on track with getting Macklin back. I think Macklin's going to be a standout. Of course, Brent Selleck is going to be a big Giant killer, as he always is every year.
Yeah, that secondary is not going to be as much of an issue when the pass rush gets to Michael Vick so many times today. I love the Eagles, but I don't think they're winning this game. I think the Giants take it away. Even with their depleted secondary, the pass rush gets to Vick. Andy Reid's smartest move would be to feed the ball to LaShawn McCoy over and over again. So, of course, he won't do that. And,
he does have a bit of an issue with that, doesn't he?
For some strange reason.
So, I guess I'll be wearing the green Sunday Fundy shirt. You'll be wearing the blue Sunday
I don't think you'd
shirt.
catch me dead in a blue jersey up at the pick. But I'm rooting for the Eagles. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, I had to go back to
the look he just gave you.
Really?
His eyes burned through your skull.
I wanted to give you another one of those lines so you can bring it up next week and quote me as well as you did last time. All right. And I want to remind everyone you can find all the information we covered with you today, plus a lot more on our website, www.kickassfantasyfootball.com. We send out newsletters 3-4 times a week with who to pick up off of waiver wires, who to trade and trade for, injury reports. It's great stuff. You can sign up for the newsletter for free. Check it out, kickassfantasyfootball.com. And I want to thank everyone for listening in to the Piccalilli Kick-Ass Fantasy Football Show. I want to thank our experts, the Commish Henry Brick and the Professor Steve Wynn, and our kick-ass producer Scott Ewing. I'm your host, Matt Lowry, and if you're not playing fantasy football, you're probably spending too much time watching Dancing with the Stars. See you next week right here on 97.3 ESPN.